invite Professor S. Prabahar sir to enlighten us with the concept note of the seminar.
Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor N. Chandrasekhar sir, the chief guest on the occasion, Professor N. Rajendran sir, former Vice Chancellor of Alagappa University. As Dr. Marx has rightly said, I know him more as a historian at Bharatdasan University. My mentor, my well-wisher, Professor Manikumar sir, the former Professor and Head Department of History, Manonmaniam, Sundaranar University, learned resource persons from various universities, professors, colleagues, research scholars, and my fellow co-conveners of this three-day national seminar, Professor T. Marx and Dr. B.J. Geeta, and my dear student friends. Good morning to one and all. This topic, the nation, nationhood and nationalism, a discourse on early Indian English literature, 1794 to 1950. When they conceived an idea to host a seminar on this topic, we published the brochure. We approached ICSSR. We published the brochure. The moment the brochure was released, many got wonderstruck. Many asked us the question, why 1794 to 1950? We answered it in our brochure. We answered it in our deliberations. And in fact, ICSSR was very much impressed with the topic, and therefore they were gracious enough to allocate the fund which I asked for. They did not even cut a single pie. I asked for the financial support, and they sanctioned the amount that I claimed. And at this moment, I remain grateful to the funding agency, Indian Council of Social Science Research. The Department of English getting a fund from ICSSR to organize a seminar like this. I know that it is a Herculean task. And Moreover, in the field of history, we are drafting the literary history of Indian English and literature. We are tracing the history from 1794 to 1950. And I was told by one of the experts from ICSSR that they were very much impressed with the topic and also the idea that we have formulated to conduct this seminar, with only one change. We wanted to host this seminar, an international seminar, inviting resource persons from the estuary Bengal, from Bangladesh, and from Sri Lanka. We have included professors from Jaffna University to speak on Ananda Kumarasamy. We have included professors from Bangladesh to deliver lectures on the Bengal experiences, because it was Tagore who has written the national anthem quite interestingly for two nations, Bangladesh and India. So, with this background, this was approved. Right? This was approved. Since the time is very short, they made it a national, but without cutting even a single point that we asked for. Thank you, Indian Council of Social Science Research. I place on record my sincere appreciations to ICSSR, the funding agency, because this is sponsored by Government of India. This seminar is sponsored by Government of India. With this, let me be very short in discussing the concept of this seminar. Indian English literature is not a part of English literature. It is not a part of British literature. It is a part of Indian literature. So we proudly claim that Indian English literature is a part of Indian literature. In its initial phase in 1794, the first author, Deen Muhammad, who has written The Travels of Deen Muhammad, in its initial phase, the nation matters, with its rediscovery of Indian consciousness, philosophy, spirituality, culture, and civilization with modern consciousness such as gender equity. Because Indian English literature raised its voice against sati. The writer from Tirunelveli, Madhavaya, has written the novel Clarinda, which depicted a life of a widow who was saved from the fire of sati. Clarinda. So the Indian English literature, it discussed gender equity and casteism. In Angare, Sajat Anwar and Angare, they spoke against casteism. Economic liberation, right from Dadabhai Naoroji, the economic nationalism, it was discussed. And in fact, following the lines of Dadabhai Naoroji, Shashi Tharoor condemned the plundering of the wealth from India by the British. And we are asking for reparations. We are asking for compensation of $43 trillion from Britain. So these writers, they spoke against gender disparity, caste, and we were asking for economic liberation. The present conference, Nationhood and Nationalism, a discourse on early Indian English literature 1794 to 1950, attempts to recognize the concept of nation and its various expressions found in Indian English literature. Earlier, Indian English literature was called Anglo-Indian literature. Then they turned it to Indo-Anglian literature. Then people changed the nomenclature saying Indian writings in English. So these terminologies, nomenclatures are circumlocuent. It is circumlocuent. Not only circumlocuent, but it is politically motivated. When we call Anglo-Indian, the British are foregrounded. And when we call Indo-Anglian, again this compound noun doesn't suit to the spirit expressed in Indian English literature. And in the year 1964, Sahitya Academy has rightly, then it was called Indian Writings in English, and Sahitya Academy has said it is Indian English literature. It is no more Anglo-Indian literature, no more Indo-Anglian literature, but it is Indian English literature, just like our own regional literature. Like Tamil literature, Oriental literature, Malayalam literature, we have Indian English literature. And the English education introduced in 1835 through this Charter Act. But even before that, there were establishments of colleges in the three presidencies, including the Hindu College set up in Calcutta. And we had many colleges even before Macaulay's minutes, even before 1835 Charter Act. And these Western educated scholars, like I use the term Western not to mean the geography of the West, but the civilization. The Western educated scholars, students, quite ironically, they rose against the British colonialism. As Marx has rightly said, you taught me the language, but I know how to curse. What I learned is how to curse. English was taught at institutions, and the writers like Kailas Chandra Dutt, S.C. Dutt, writing even in 1835, they envisaged freedom, like they envisaged like home rule and independence in their writings. Like that's the Journal of 48 Hours. It was published in June 6, 1835 in a gazette, in a literary gazette. And after 4 days, there was also, even at that time, there was secession. There was censorship. His text was censored and the text got lost. And only after 1960s and only at 1960, the text was restored from London archives. And we are proud to say we have prescribed the first ever text which speaks on nation, nationalism and nationhood is prescribed in the Department of English, and our students are doing the Journal of 48 Hours and also the Republic of Orissa. But the Republic of Orissa, 10 years later, his cousin, Kelsey-Dutt's cousin, Kelsey-Dutt, he wrote a book. He called it the Republic of Orissa, and he called it Hindustan. Kelsey-Dutt called it Hindustan, and Kelsey-Dutt, his cousin, called Republic of Orissa, including the region about India, and he called it Odia, the Republic of Orissa. So the writers, the Indian English writers, at the beginning, they inculcated the spirit of nationalism. They envisaged a nation which is free from it, and Kelsey-Dutt, a 19-year-old boy, called it British barbarianism. The term he used, British barbarianism. And for the first time he called Hindustan my motherland. We will set free our motherland. Just imagine, even before the first war of Indian independence, or what we call mutiny. 1857 we had mutiny, but 1835 a student of Hindu College, he wrote in English against the British government. He mentioned the names Warren Hastings, Robert Clive, and he wrote. It is not just restricted with these writers. We have writers like C.V. Boraya, 1776 to 1803, and Dharachan Chakraborty up to 1855, Harachandra Bose 1868, Rasi Krishna Malik 1858, Radhan Sikhar 1870, Ramdev Lahiri 1898, and Pierre Chand 1870, Ram Kumar Bose 1868, Kailas Chandra Dutt up to 1859, Dakshin Mukherjee 1887, Michael Madhusudan Dutt 1873, Sosi Chandra Dutt 1885, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee 1894, and these all belong to the Young Bengal movement, and they contributed a lot to the formation of nation and nationalism, nationhood and nationalism in their writings. So nationalism, nationhood was the essence of Indian English literature. And I have mentioned the names. But these writers, they wrote in English about India against the British colonialism. There was a passionate speech by the protagonist, in the journal of the year 1945. The student predicted India's independence, that he said that India will get independence in the year 1945. Well, he wrote it in 1835. And 110 years afterwards, he envisaged the freedom for India. And I am saying, to mention this, I would say, Cecil Das, a famous historian, he said, ironically, It is ironical that the first expression of patriotism, it is ironical that the first expression of patriotism as well as hatred for the British rule is from Indian literature in English. It is ironical that the first expression of patriotism as well as the hatred against the British rule is in Indian literature is first recorded in the English language. And Tirunelveli, the historian, and Macaulay, Tirunelveli, he once wrote, India will get independence either by following the indigenous models, because we are thugs, the thugs, and the tribes, right? The tribes. He said, India will emerge independent either by following their own indigenous methods, or the English educated Indians will rise against the British colonial rule. In fact, the English educated Indians, they rose against the British colonialism, and the voice of patriotism I place on record here is from Indian English literature. This seminar on nationhood and nationalism, I believe, will throw more light on the origin and development of Indian English literature and the text and the context of nationhood and nationalism. Thank you very much. I once again place on record my sincere gratitude to our Vice Chancellor. I must say it here because it has a message. I received the communication from ICSSR only on 4th of this month. Just a mail. I took the mail to our Vice Chancellor and I showed him. He said, congratulations. I told him, sir, I have come here not to seek your congratulations, but money. But money, fund. We have already submitted the list of resource persons to ICSSR. Based on the list of resource persons, they just sanctioned this seminar. I said, sir, money, grant. He is known for his stubbornness. And I tried my level best and made him bit flexible and got the advance. Right? And got the advance. Right? Got the advance. 75% of the money granted, sanctioned by ICSSR. So, our Vice Chancellor is, I would say, a mini ICSSR to me. Right? And thank you, sir. And even when I received my second formal sanctioning order, I approached him, and but in a very different context, he invited me to scold. And he invited me to scold. I just showed the paper. I said, sir, we got the sanctioning order. That I will see later. What has happened today? You tell me now. Then I showed the letter. I said, okay, sir. Then he congratulated me and said, okay, go ahead. I said, right, I am with you. He said, I am with you. Go ahead. Thank you, sir. And thank you for all your nice gestures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving a very clear note on the period, literature, and its role as an